Most business owners are trying to scale their business using strategy alone. But what if the secret to scaling your business was hidden in the Akashic Records? Let's find out how that works. Before we get going, put in the comments below, what do you wish you could wave a magic wand and get every single answer to that question? Maybe through the Akashic Records, maybe through something else. Where are you struggling right now when it comes to growing your business? Is it engagement? Is it client acquisition and getting more leads? Maybe it's through sales. Maybe it's pricing. Put down below, where are you going to use your Akashic Records this week? I'm Emily Aarons, and I'm best known as a spiritual business coach. I help thousands of entrepreneurs, leaders, founders, overachieving women all over the world to grow and scale their business with ease that's in alignment with their soul purpose. Make more money while feeling good. That is my jam. So today we're going to dive into the Akashic Records. If you are brand new to the Akashic Records, I have another video on this that'll take you through how to get in, why would you get in, all of that from A to Z for beginners. I'm going to talk to the folks who've been there and done that. Let's get into the Akashic Records. So one of the first ways that I personally started using the Akashic Records was to start learning how to sell out programs. I had ideas. I kind of had an idea of where I wanted to go with it. I had no audience. I had no proven formula. I didn't know how to price myself. And that's why I used the Akashic Records. I went in basically going, tell me what I need to know. And if you're as old as I am, you remember those little cheat sheet books, those cliff notes that would give you the answers to what the book was all about. So when it came to test time, you knew what you were talking about, even though you didn't read the book. That's kind of like the Akashic Records for your business. What if you had access to all of the right answers that were going to get you further, faster, easier, and more in a flow state in your business and in your life? Wouldn't you want to use it? Yes! Yes, Emily, we would. That is the correct answer. Good job. High five. So this is the beginning. We have to stop thinking that strategy alone and being in our head is going to get us to where we want to go. And in fact, kind of slowing down for a beat and checking in with our Akashic Records is going to have every answer we need to know. Let's start with the basics. What is the offer and how do we price it? These are two things that customers come to me all the time with. They have ideas for what they want to offer. They don't know what they want to name it. They don't know how many people are going to be in it. What is the price point? The first thing I would invite you to do is get quiet, get into your records the way I taught you how to do it, with a simple guided meditation that just calms your nervous system, gets your brain offline, and gets your energy tuned up. Opening up your energy and opening up your intuition is going to guide you to more aligned decisions. What do I mean by that? Meaning that they're really designed for you and your soulmate clients. Because as great as it is to follow somebody else's formula and somebody else's strategy, that worked well for them with their customers. You are not them and you don't have the same exact customer base. So it's not like a one size fits all formula. Using your Akashic Records, you are creating a one size fits you model. It's so specific and it feels good. So here's the other thing is that sometimes when we're using strategy alone, it doesn't feel good in our system. Yes, it can push us and stretch us to doing new ideas and innovating in different ways. That's great. But then there are times where you're like, oh, it feels like nails on a chalkboard, where I think that this idea worked great. I'm happy for you, but it feels terrible in my body and in my system. And then there's resistance, and then you're not going to want to do it. Or if you do it, there is like an icky feel around it. So let's start at the beginning. How do I get my program title and pricing? So once you're in the Akashic Records, you are going to open your soul book to that section on your business, on pricing, on business titles, business names, and start to explore that. Start asking questions. So as we know, the quality of our life is determined by the questions that we ask. So we want to ask really good leading questions. If you're asking an open-ended, vague question, you might get that kind of response. balance back from your records. It doesn't mean that that's always going to be the case, but it means that you might need to go in, every day for a few days to really tease out the good stuff. So for example, I have a membership called Mastery and Ascension. Now, it didn't start that way. When I first went into the Akashic Records, all I was asking for was the first program that will sell out. That's all I asked for. I wasn't asking for a lot. I just was like, can you sell something out for a change? So it gave me the 6-week intro to meditation for entrepreneurs. Pretty terrible name if you ask me, but honestly, who gives a crap about the name? It is what it is. The title tells you what it is, and that is totally cool. When I asked for the title, it gave me that. Then I asked, okay, what are the 6 weeks? What are we going to do each week? And I wrote down 1 through 6. Here's what the topic for week 1 through 6 is going to be. That was pretty easy. And in my body, I was like, piece of cake. I could teach this all day. No problemo. When that started to shift, then I go, all right, so when am I offering this? And you should be careful with that question, because when you're in that ethereal Akashic realm, your guides don't have space and time where they are. And so they'll be like, now, ow, I just hit the ceiling. They'll say now. And you might go, okay, like what I used to do. Or you might go, oh my gosh, it is my kid's birthday that week and I have another program running and there's this other thing going on and there's a huge holiday and then there's voting happening. Like there might be things that conflict with right now. So just be aware that that might not be the right time for you. Okay. So then I went into, all right, so I know when it's going to be now. And I went along with it for this particular time. I said, okay, how many people are going to be in this program? How many is to sell out? And I got 10. Okay. Now I got a little bit more juice. All right, how much? What is the price point? And when I asked the price point, I got a very clear price point. Then I clarified, is this the starting price point or is this what it's going to be in the future? Give me the starting price point for this program. Then I got it. Now, if you're somebody who struggles with feeling really confident with their pricing, here's another tip for you. When you're in meditation, whether it's in the Akashic Records or you're just connecting and calling in your soulmate client, connect with their energy really deeply. Connect from your heart to their heart, really make a soulful connection, feel their presence, and introduce your offer to them. See how their body and their energy responds. If you bring in this new 6-week program for meditation and they go, and their energy expands and it feels light and feels awesome, you're like, all right, great, I'm good. If you introduce it and their energy kind of deflates and shrivels, it's probably not the right thing for them. That doesn't tend to happen. So on that same note, I imagine there's a scale from left to right with pricing from 0 to X. You can figure out your scale. If you know it's going to be a high ticket program, maybe the scale is up to $50,000. If you know it's going to be a low price course, maybe the scale is up to $200. It's up to you how you want to make your scale. But when you're with your soulmate client in meditation, you connect with the offer and then you introduce the pricing scale from 0 and then start sliding up the scale. Notice in your mind how their energy is responding. If it's not high enough, their energy might be droopy because they're not getting what they need at that price. If it's free or low price, they're not getting it. And then you start to move down the scale and you'll start to see their energy blossom and respond and heighten. You might be at the end of the scale and they're still like, is that it? You might need to expand your scale. Or you might get to the end of your scale at $50,000 and you've completely blown out their system and they're like, it's too much. So you have to find that beautiful balance. When you find that price, oftentimes when I do this exercise with my clients, I introduce that there's a sliding scale and they immediately know what the price is. Once you take it out of their head, they're like, oh, it's this, it's 111 or whatever the price is. So that's a really easy way to get your price. So now you know what it is, you know how long it's going to be, you know who's going to be in there, and you know the pricing, and you know you're going to start offering. So you have enough details to just like start to get the wheels wheels turning. Now, from that place, yes, strategy for how to write emails is really important, but not by itself. You want to stay tuned into your soulmate client and get some of the key words or the emotions or whatever it is that you want to put into your email body. How am I going to promote it? Am I going to do it through this or through that? You can get all that information right in your Akashic Records. Now, remember, there's more than just strategy alone. We have to remember how to listen to our intuition, to trust it, to make simple or big decisions in our business and in our life. Trust me, the more you go in and listen to your intuition, the easier business will be, the smoother it will run, and the more you're going to hear that cha-ching sign or see those emails coming in from sales coming in. I have had clients who resisted going to the Akashic Records. Suddenly they go in because I'm essentially forcing them to go in there to get their answers. They come out and they go, here's my clear answer. By the way, I made a $2,000 sale. I made a $10,000 sale. I made a $400 sale. So what is it worth? Maybe take 10, 20 minutes of your time each and every day for a few days in a row, get those answers and get clear. So tell me, what did you need to ask about in your Akashic Records today? What are you working on? Put it below and let me hear from you what you're working on in your business and how you're using your Akashic Records. Stay tuned for next time. I'll see you soon.